Hello everyone, I am Sree Sasnika of grade 7 studying in Frontline Newgen International School. Today I am going to present my thoughts on a topic, unlocking the mystery of chance. Now let's see the table of contents. Introduction, types, tree, formula, events, probability theory, examples and conclusion. Now let's see introduction for probability. Probability means possibility, and this is the likely events. This is found in maths to predict how likely events are to happen. For example, let's consider a coin. If in one coin we have two possible outcomes, heads and tails. In case of a two coin, we have four possible outcomes. Now let's see the three major types of probability: theoretical probability, experimental probability and axiomatic probability. Now let's see about theoretical probability. Theoretical probability is also known as classical probability. This is assumed by the sample space that is equally likely. For example, consider rolling a 6-sided fair die. The sample space is 1 to 6. If A is rolling 2 and the theoretical probability of 2 is 1 by 6. Let's see about experimental probability. Experimental probability is also known as empirical probability. This is absorbed by the actual observations in the real world and experiments. For example, let's take a coin. Let's see experimental probability for heads. This is by dividing the total number of flips by the observations of heads in the given flips. Let's see about axiomatic probability. Axiomatic probability is a mathematical approach to probability that has set of axioms and fundamental concepts. This is introduced by a Russian mathematician Andrei Kolmogorov in the early 20th century. For example, for axiomatic probability is a coin. In a coin, as I told before, it has heads and tails. With that, we will substitute the values and we can get the probability for axiomatic probability. Now let's see an important concept in probability, which is formula. In probability, the formula is number of favorable outcomes by the total number of outcomes. This is the basic formula for different types of probability. Probability tree. Probability tree is also known as tree diagram or probability tree diagram. It is a graphical representation of the outcomes and observations in probability. It is used to calculate sequential and multi-stage concepts in probability. Now let's see the events. It has two events: equally likely events and complementary events. Now let's see about equally likely events. It has a sample space that have the same probability and it simplifies calculations and it is easy to understand than the complex one. For example, we get a 2 and a 5 in a die and we get an even number and an odd number in a die. Let's see about complementary events. Complementary events cannot occur simultaneously and this is even more complex than equally likely events. The sum of complementary events is always 1. For example, it will rain or not rain today, the student will pass the exam or not pass. Now let's see about probability theory. It is a branch of maths which deals with the values and observations. This is the important thing in which it comes in all the types of probability. It varies from 0 to 1. It had root in 16th century by Gerolamo Carnado, an Italian mathematician and physician who introduced probability theory. Now let's see few examples in probability. First, coin. A coin has 50% chance of getting heads and 50% chance of getting tails. Dice in probability. A standard 6-sided fair die is easy to understand all the concepts in probability, and this is a common example. Pack of cards. In pack of cards, we can use the designs and combination of different cards in a deck. In conclusion, we use probability in mathematics, statistics, economics and science, and even more various fields. Thus, we saw about probability. Thank you.